Now in this session, we are going to see on the management theory set by McKinsey. He has set a framework which is still currently being used in all type of organizations. Okay, so unlike the other management theory, this theory set by McKinsey has not got many limitations. It can be used in any type of business enterprise. So in this session, we will see what is the framework set by McKinsey, and by looking at the name, we will be curious to know what do we mean by these 7S. As explained in the lecture, it is going to represent 7 elements in any type of organization. So we will see on the upcoming slide what is the theory set by McKinsey. Now, McKinsey 7S framework was developed in early 1980s by Tom Peters and Robert Waterman. The basic premise of the model is that there are 7 internal aspects of an organization that need to be aligned if it wants to be successful. So first of all, we have to know what are these 7 S. Okay, all these 7 internal aspects, they are being started with the letter S. So first of all, we have to understand what are these 7 S, and then we should make necessary change when required. Okay, suppose if suddenly an external environmental change occurs, that is, there may be a sudden crisis or sudden competitor in a market. Okay, so all these cases we have to adjust on these 7 internal aspects. So that is the 7S framework of McKinsey. Now, why was this 7S model proposed, or what is the objective of using the 7S model? First one, obviously to improve the performance of the company. That is, we have to take care the objectives of the company are being fulfilled. Okay, or we are achieving a designed target. Okay, so how we will achieve the target? We will take care that all these factors stated by the McKinsey, specifically these 7 S factors stated by the McKinsey, are properly functioning. If there is a clear functioning of these 7S, obviously we are going to get a better performance in the company. Then second one, to examine the likely effects of future changes within a company. So depending upon these 7 factors, we can determine what will be the likely effects of future changes. Okay, this point will be understood more when we are going in detail through what are these 7 elements. Third objective, to align departments and process. That is, depending upon these 7 factors, we have to adjust, or we have to align all the process, or we have to align all the functional departments. That is, we should establish a relationship between all the departments which is working for a common objective. Next objective, to determine what is the best way to implement a proposed strategy. Obviously, while making a decision, there may be many alternatives, okay, for achieving one single target. So we have to find out what is the best way. Okay, ultimately, how do we find this best way? By looking at these 7 factors stated by McKinsey. Still, in the current world, McKinsey's 7S framework gains a lot of importance. You can read on it more on the Google, wherein companies are always trying to implement this McKinsey 7S model. That is, every company first of all identifies that these 7S, and they will take care to examine the likely effect of future changes based on these 7S, and on all alternatives they go on to check these 7S and then find the best way to implement a proposed strategy. Now we will come in detail on to what are these 7 elements that McKinsey proposed. Up till now we had been telling we have to take care of these 7 elements for achieving all the objectives. Now we will come in detail to what are these 7 elements, or specifically 7 S. S because all the elements are starting with the letter S. Now in this slide you can see a tabular column in which the 7 elements have been split into 2 groups. The first group is the hard elements, second group is the soft elements. Okay, so under hard elements you can read strategy, structure and systems. Under soft elements you can read shared values, skills, style, staff. So pause for a minute and guess what could be hard elements and what will be soft elements. What is the essence or meaning of it? Okay. Hard elements, they are easier to define or identify and management can directly influence them. These are strategy elements, organization charts and reporting lines, and formal process and IT systems. Okay, so by this definition, what do you mean by hard elements is clear. That is, these are those elements which we can easily identify, or in specific, we can easily see through all of these elements: strategy, structure, system. That is, in an organization, there is a formal system. Okay, every one of us know that there is going to be a formal system and there is clear delegation of all the responsibility, authority, etc. Every person is going to have a certain set of supervisor who is controlling them. So all such strategy will be clear. In case of an organization, there is a clear strategy or objective stated. There is a clear defined structure, or the system will also be clear defined. So these are all the hard elements in an enterprise. You can easily see through all of these systems. There is no confusion regarding these hard elements. But coming to the soft elements, okay, shared values, skills, styles, staff, etc., it is very difficult to describe all these soft elements. Most importantly, they are less tangible. You cannot clearly see through them. There will be more influenced by culture. Obviously, we know that management is a science as well as a art. Okay, a manager need to have a art of managing his people. When you are considering the staff factor, okay, each person will be having different types of interest or different type of passion towards his work. Each one is going to approach his work differently. So these are the soft elements. His style may be different, skills possessed by each of them will be different. The shared values again will depend upon the culture of persons. Okay, so there will not be a common culture for everyone. As such, it is difficult to follow a common culture in a single enterprise. So these soft elements, they are very much less tangible and are more influenced by the culture. So we need to focus both on these hard elements and soft elements for the successful functioning of the organization. So these are the 7S proposed by McKinsey, and we have classified these 7 elements into 2 groups, hard elements and soft elements. So I hope you understood what is the essence of hard elements and what is the essence of soft elements. Obviously, we are having a more clear idea on these hard elements when we are comparing it to the soft elements. But for the successful functioning of enterprise, we have to concentrate both of the elements. Okay. Now we'll come to the pictorial representation of the 7S model. So as already explained, we know what are the 7 elements now, and we have classified the 7 elements into hard elements and soft elements. Now in this pictorial representation, you can see that 3 of our hard elements, strategy, structure, systems, are placed on the top of the model and they are labeled in red color, and the soft elements are represented in violet color, are placed in the bottom of the model, and the shared vision or the shared values is placed in the middle to show the importance of it in the enterprise. Okay, so from this figure we can understand that all the 7 areas are interconnected. So a change in one area requires a change in the rest of them for it to function effectively. So even if any of the soft element is also changed, it is going to affect all of the other models because all are interconnected. So it is important when you represent it pictorially, you have to show that all these 7 elements are being interconnected so that all these elements are to be taken care for successful functioning of the enterprise, and a change in any one is going to affect rest of the others. Now we will see in detail about the 7 elements in the 7S model. In this slide, we are going to state about the hard elements, strategy, structure and systems. Okay, so the first element, strategy, It is a plan devised to maintain and build competitive advantage over the competition. That is, we know that we have to maintain the sustainable competitive advantage for our enterprise. So the strategy which we set is very important. As a manager, we have to set aggressive goals. Okay, then only we can be gaining more profit when compared to our competitors. And also strategy indicates our objectives or the policies, that is a long-term mission of our enterprise. So strategy is a very important hard element in the 7S model. Next hard element is the structure. The way the organization is structured and who reports to whom. That is, most commonly in an organization, we will be having organizational charts. Okay, by looking at this chart itself, we will understand that who is responsible to whom. Okay, that is a manager. He will be holding certain set of authority and all the workers will be responsible to him. Similarly, there will be so many functional departments within a single organization. So all this could be understood by looking at such type of charts. Okay, so the structure of the organization is very important. So this is actually visible from such type of organizational chart. So this is a hard element which could be easily identified in an enterprise. Next hard element is the systems. It is a daily activities and procedures that staff members engage in to get the job done. Okay, it can be the duration of say working hours, okay, or whether a dress code is present or not in an enterprise. Some enterprise may be having a dress code, some may not be having. Okay, so regarding the number of holidays, so all such is going to be the system in an organization. So by looking at this system, we could identify what is the procedure carried out in the organization or what are the activities carried out in the organization. Okay, so these are all tangible elements in an organization. That is, simply if you are selecting an enterprise, we could search what are the strategy or what are the objectives or the mission of the enterprise, what is the structure followed. In each and every enterprise, depending upon their function, the structure will be different. For example, the structure followed in an educational institution is different from the structure followed in a business enterprise. And the system. Each and every enterprise will be having their own systems. Okay, in one enterprise, business enterprise itself, there may be different systems followed. So these are the hard elements. Again, in the next slide, we will see about the soft elements. Now we will see in this section about the soft elements in the 7S model. So the most important soft element is the shared value. That is why in the pictorial representation also we are keeping this element in the middle. These are the core values of the company that are evidenced in the corporate culture and the general work ethic. So these are basically the ethical principles or the CSR initiatives which are incorporated into the company. These values should be possessed by each and every worker who is functioning inside the enterprise. So shared value has got such type of importance. Okay, it is the basic thing which should be possessed by each and every worker in the enterprise. So that is our soft element in our 7S model, the most important one. Next soft element is the style. That is the style of leadership adopted. We know that all the managers, they will not be following a specific type of leadership. Okay, there can be different styles of leadership followed. Some may be more autocratic, some may be more democratic. Okay, some like to involve workers also in their decision making process. So here the style of management leadership is considered. Next element is the staff, that is regarding the employees and their general capabilities. Okay, so this factor is very much less tangible. That is, in an enterprise itself, there may be variable type of staff. That is, everyone may not be possessing the same capabilities or everyone may not approach the work in a same manner. Okay, so this factor is the most difficult factor in an enterprise. Then their skills, the actual skills and competencies of the employees working for the company. So in order to establish a particular objective set by the enterprise, obviously the workers should possess the skills. Okay, but the manner in which they are going to possess the skill is going to be different. So for a manager to identify the skill of each and every worker is important. Then only the correct work can be assigned. So these are the soft elements identified by McKinsey, and out of which the most difficult one is to understand about the staff factor, and the most important one is the shared values. Now for understanding in a better manner, I will state how McKinsey's 7S framework is followed in a company. So here I have chosen the Apple company and will state each of the 7 elements in the company. So the most important, shared value. Business is aligned around the values of design and user experience. So shared values or shared vision. Some ethical principles are incorporated or CSR initiatives are taken in this element factor, and it is business is aligned in such a way that it is around the values of user experience. That is, as a user who is using the products of Apple, they must be comfortable with it. We know that Apple products, they do not have much threats when compared to the other systems which is currently existing. Okay, so all such security issues of the user are much considered in Apple company. Then next factor, strategy. Focus on a small number of products and make them innovative and excellent. Okay, so what is the particular strategy followed by the Apple company is explained here. So the objective is to focus only on a small number of products, but those products should be excellent and it should be innovative. So always new experiments are being undertaken to make the products innovative. So it allows the business to capture a huge market share relative to its size and build a loyal customer following. That is why they are getting the loyalty from the customers. Next factor is the structure followed in the company. The structure followed is a traditional structure. That is, there will be a manager, there will be a set of workers. So a traditional management approach hierarchy is followed in the structure of the Apple company. Now, regarding the staff, offers their employees huge benefits. That is, those who bring out more innovative ideas, they are being rewarded in Apple company. Then regarding the skills, highly qualified and creative employees. That is, the managers take care to hire people who are very much creative. Okay, then only they can gain the desired profit. Then regarding the system, supply chain with built capacity for launching and supplying huge new market or dominating products. So system is actually the working conditions, okay, for an enterprise to be successful. So such type of principle is followed by the Apple company. That is, their capacity should be very much high for supplying huge new market. That is, there should not be any scarcity in the resources. So that is taken care, and accordingly the system inside the organization is adjusted. Now style followed by a leader in the Apple is people are free to innovate, okay, as long as they meet jobs high standards. Okay, so autocratic style of leadership is not followed by a manager in Apple company. People are left free to innovate. Okay, so these are the examples which I have taken from the Apple company. If you are interested, you can select a firm and see how these 7 elements, McKinsey's 7S framework, is undergone in a particular enterprise. Now, how to implement or how to use the tool. McKinsey has made our work easy. Whichever enterprise we are working in, now we know the 7 elements. What are the hard elements? What are the soft elements? So we have got 5 steps in order to implement the tool. That is, first step is to identify the area that are not effectively aligned. That is, out of these 7 elements, which element is not being properly aligned? It may be the staff, it may be the style followed by them, or it may be even the shared values or even the strategy of the company. So we have to identify that area which is not effectively aligned. Second step, after identifying, determine the optimal organizational design. That is, we have to make the necessary changes in the organizational design. Maybe we have to change the assignment of a particular group of people, or we have to change a particular authority of a person. So in such a way, after identifying the area which is not properly aligned, we have to determine an optimal organizational design for better functioning. The next step is to decide where and what changes should be made. That is, after identifying a particular element which is not aligned properly, okay, then making the necessary organizational design, and we have to identify what changes should be made. And remember, whatever changes we are making in one element, which is going to affect all our other elements also. So fourth step is the implementation of the necessary changes. Third step is only the decision. That is, there will be obviously many alternatives, okay, many solution to a particular problem. So we have to decide on it and choose the best alternative out of the many alternatives. Then implementation is the fourth step. Okay. Then fifth step is continuously review the 7S. It should be a continuous evaluation. Okay. We should not stop it after the completion of, say, a production process also. Again, for next step planning, we have to go on continuously reviewing these 7 elements. So McKinsey made our work easy by stating these 7 elements and classifying these 7 elements into hard elements and soft elements. For better understanding, here we have chosen Apple company and stated how these 7 elements are being carried out in Apple company, and these are the 5 steps stated for implementing or using the tool. So McKinsey 7S framework still find application in the current era. Every organization is going to use this particular tool. So it gains much importance.